Good afternoon and welcome to Mid-Cap Radar, live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studio. I am Vivek Iyer and with me today is Nigel D'Souza. Nigel, what a wonderful day for you to join on MCR. Markets are completely green.
Well, that's right, Vivek. On these sort of days, you like to be on air for longer, right? And my wish has been granted today because, with just a couple of hours of trade to go, we're up a whopping 500 points in the Nifty and portfolios feeling superb because the breadth of the market is in favor of the bulls. Lots to talk about. First up, let's run you through all the top stories at this hour. Stocks climb reacting to Trump's easing tariffs on imports of electronics, computers and chips after a market holiday. Realty and auto, they are the biggest gainers, while FMCG lags in trade. Mid-caps at par.
GMR Power divests stake in three stressed assets for a sum of 653 crore rupees. The company says this will deleverage the balance sheet by 4,400 crore rupees. The stock is up by over 5%.
Globe Aviation surges after Motilal Oswal upgrades the stock to buy with a target price of 6,550. The brokerage says that the benign crude prices and favorable domestic demand bode well.
Aurobindo Pharma gains over 4% after receiving the US FDA nod for an anti-blood clotting tablet that will be launched in Q1 FY26. The market size of the product is estimated at $447 million.
GM Brewery is in focus after reporting the Q4 numbers. The net profit declines by 31%. The EBITDA surges 17% on a year-on-year basis. Well, the markets are holding well, and the high beta names are doing well in today's trading session. You have metals as an index that's doing well. That got hit the hardest. Now, the hope is that, we'll be back to normalcy. So you have Tata Steel as we speak. That's moved to the high point of the day. One of the underperformers in the bull run was the paint stocks. Asian Paints is the stock that suddenly moved to the high point of the day. It was trading in the red an hour or so ago. But now you have Asian Paints that's moved to the high point of the day. So it makes sense to pull up the intraday chart of that stock. I just pull up a couple of more names. Sundaram Fasteners, the stock was in the red actually. That's moved into the green. So big spike up is what we're seeing out there. ICICI Lombard is now up close to around 5%. So big move is what we're seeing on that counter as well. But let's get straight to our special segment, Mid-Cap Movers. Vivek has hopped across to the wall to tell us about all the mid-caps that are doing their jig. Vivek, take it away.
Absolutely, and the screen is completely green today. Advanced decline ratio as far as the broad end of the markets are something that is very, very strong. And within, whole host of stocks that we could choose from, actually what we've done is we've picked out and cherry-picked a few sectors. So first, look at the entire auto and auto ancillary, something that Sudarshan's been telling us since morning. The entire auto pack is doing very well. Not only that, the entire banking pack. So first we'll start off with the banking pack. IndusInd Bank up almost 7%. Bandhan, HDFC First Bank. Remember, there's a pref issue that the company said that will be coming out in a couple of days. It'll be interesting to see, what kind of funds that the company is raising. So the entire banking pack, led by HDFC Bank, of course, is doing very well. Auto and auto ancillary, something that Sudarshan's been telling us for quite a while. The tariff tantrums or the uncertainties receding. And on the back of that, the entire pack, not only auto anchors, even tire companies. Remember, a couple of reports have indicated that raw material prices are benign and there could be margin expansion. Back of that, auto ancillaries, tire stocks like Balkrishna, MRF, all of them doing very well in this session. The other set of stocks that have rebounded quite smartly is the entire real estate pack. The rate sensitives today doing quite well. So names like Lodha on the back of the positive development, Anantraj, DLF, Brigade Soba, all of these stocks doing very well. And lastly, very few laggards, but still a few interesting names. Max Healthcare, that particular stock seeing quite a bit of selling pressure. Aster DM Healthcare, Godrej Consumer, one of the few laggards in the session today. And Hindustan Petroleum, this particular stock too under a bit of pressure. Other than that, it's a green screen, not much to complain about.
All right, Vivek, come back to your seat and let's take the show forward. For the time being though, let's welcome Shrikant Chauhan onto the show from Kotak Securities for a technical check. Hi Shrikant, good afternoon. After a while we speak, during lunchtime. But tell us, what's your view? It's been a super duper rally. Someone would say, where were the tariffs? What happened to Trump? Because we are now trading above the levels that we were trading on the day that Trump, in fact, announced those tariff measures. That's April 2nd. So the Indian markets have pulled back all the losses, and now we're trading above those levels. Forget about making up those, the losses. Tell us, what would you do? Take the money off the table, or are we good for more?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, not only we are trading higher, but in fact, our markets are outperforming two other markets, including MSCI Emerging Market Index. So if we consider the overall pattern of the market, then at these levels, I am of the view that the market has seen its worst when the market was around 21,700 on last Monday. And today we are at 23,300, 400 sort of levels. And even after opening with a gap of 300, 400 points, our markets are trading comfortably around these levels. So I am of the view that yes, it is better if we switch some of our weak investments to strong investments or maybe strong ideas. Because from here onward, if we see the market is reaching towards the levels of 24,000, then in that case, relatively outperforming stocks can do much, much better.
Okay.
Ideal strategy should be to look for adding position if there is any correction in the market close to, let's say, 23,200. Now, I'm not expecting market to sustain below the levels of 23,000. So in case if there is any drop, minimal drop to the levels of 23,200 or 100, there we should look for taking some contra bets.
And what are the individual stocks that you have for us today?
Yeah, afternoon, Vivek. Yes, if we go through with sector-specific activities and performance, then in that all these defense-related stocks, they are doing really well. And most of these stocks have crossed their immediate resistance levels. In that specifically, we like Bharat Dynamics, which is around some 1230, 1240 sort of levels. If we consider the overall technical pattern of the stock, then it is currently trading at 1385, 1386 levels, and it has broken the level of 1350. So based on its technical formation, I am expecting stock to move towards the levels of 1500 or maybe 1600 in next few weeks. So it's a buy at current levels. The other stock which we like is Deepak Fertilizer, and there also if we consider the its overall long-term pattern, then it has broken its swing highest levels, and now it is moving towards its previous high of 1450 or maybe 1500. So even at these levels, it's a buy because the momentum of the stock is indicating us that it is heading higher.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us, giving us a view on the markets as well as the individual stock picks. Well, as we now slip into a short break, here's some good news for our viewers. India's business news leader is now just a click away. Introducing CNBC-TV18's all-new app. Get instant access to breaking news, in-depth articles, and financial world updates at your fingertips. Download the CNBC-TV18 app now from the Apple Store or Google Play Store, or just scan the QR code on your screen. Welcome back to Mid-Cap Radar. Well, the small cap index is surging. It's 2.8% higher even as we speak. But we'll now shift focus to nuclear software. The stock is surging in trade today as the company and Deem Finance have expanded their long-standing partnership with Fin1 Neo. We are now joined by Vishnu R. Dusad, co-founder and managing director of Nuclear Software. Thank you so much, Mr. Dusad, for joining us. First up, give us a sense of what exactly this deal means for you. What are the earlier terms and conditions? What is the extended term of conditions? And what is the period for which this particular partnership has been extended?
This is an extremely important deal for us because while we have been in Middle East market for almost 2 decades now, it is one of our earliest implementations of our flagship product Fin1 Neo, where we have enhanced our technology very, very substantially, and it has gone live with Deem Finance, again with whom we have had a partnership for more than a decade. So it brings a lot of operational flexibility and efficiency to Deem Finance's collections operations, and that is how they would be benefited with our solution. The deal has been extended for 5 years, but we are confident that it'll like most of our deals, or if not all of our deals, it will continue for decades to come in coming years.
Okay, hi, good afternoon, Mr. Dusad, and congratulations, on this win. So good on you. And I had a 2-part question, but you have answered 1 part. That it's for at least 5 years, and you're looking at a longer-term duration post that as well. What is the size of the contract, though? How much of it is incremental?
Okay, I would not be able to talk about the numbers specifically, but it is certainly better than our earlier deal.
Better in the sense, sir, on pricing?
On pricing.
How much better?
Okay, again, I won't be able to talk about numbers, please.
Single digit, mid-single digit. No, it's a positive read-through. So I ask you if you're getting.
No. It's certainly double digit. It's certainly double digit, the fact remains that the benefits that our customer would be able to derive out of this latest technology that has been implemented would be far higher, and that is how we are very excited about this deal. Our LMS module, loan management system module, is something that is absolutely industry benchmark, and so is we feel is our collections module, which is debt management, and we did not have an implementation so far in Middle East for the debt management. In UAE, we did have a implementation in Oman, but in UAE, this is our first go live, and that's how we are excited about it.
Right. So, there was one concern, especially at the end of the previous quarter. Number one, you did say that certain deal closures are getting extended. Was this one of those deal closures? And now there is clarity in terms of at least top line growth. And secondly, top line has actually remained static for quite some time now, something that we alluded to last time. Q4 FY26, can we see some extension, or can we see better margins and top line coming through?
As far as, again, Q4 is concerned, I should not be talking about it at all. But
if you could qualitatively give us a guidance as to how has been the demand environment.
That I certainly would like to talk about. I would once again reiterate the point that I made about the orders taking long, and yes, that continues to be there. People, our customers are taking much longer than what they used to take to take decisions. But having said that, the way things are moving, the way things are panning out, now we feel that the flat line that was there on our top line, that hopefully would be gone in this current financial year, 25-26.
So FY25 will be flat in comparison to FY24, right? Around the flat line.
Again, I should not be commenting on that.
So again, just going by your 9-month numbers, there was a bit of a downtick, so that's why I ask you. So FY25 is done, it's over, it's fine, and we want to stay, in step with the regulator as well. So don't want to ask you about FY25, but I want to ask you about FY26, Mr. Dusad. What kind of growth can you give? Because there'll be 2 years actually of no growth. Last year, this year, if I compare it. So FY26, your investors will be hopeful. What kind of growth number should they be working with these, newer announcements that have come?
As far as, once again, as a policy, we do not give any guidance. So again, I won't be able to give you any number on what sort of growth we are looking at in FY26. But I can certainly say that, our conversations with a whole lot of customers are pretty encouraging, pretty positive. So we are looking at some growth kicking in FY26.
Double digit?
Again,
in the past, you have grown at 25-30%. So I wanted to ask you if you're going to be getting back to those, what used to grow in the past. Will you be getting to those kind of growth rates in FY26?
I won't say in FY26, but yes, that is what is the target, that we get back to high growth rates.
Right, we get that. So higher growth rate is what you are trying to achieve. Now, we can't let you go, without getting your comment and also getting an on-ground reality as to what exactly is transpiring as far as tariff uncertainties are concerned. A lot of IT companies, in fact, have sounded caution in terms of spending by some of their clients. what is the on-ground reality that you're facing? And we also understand that you do a lot of your top-line growth does come in from the UAE market. So what is your exposure to the US market and any slowdowns seen over there?
Okay, as far as US market is concerned, we've had just one or two customers. So our revenue from US is very, very limited. So, from that perspective, there is no uncertainty as far as we are concerned. Now, having said that, we are talking to customers in US also. And see, you need to appreciate one thing. Our numbers are very, very small as compared to our peers in the services, IT services part of the industry. So because we are a $100 million kind of company, these headwinds or whichever way you look at them, they don't really affect us because of the size of our operation. So we are continuing to talk to customers in the US, and we were reasonably hopeful that things will not affect us, at least, unless of course there is a fallout at the global level, which hopefully better sense will prevail and things will settle down in next few weeks, and then things will start getting back on track.
Give us your aspiration for the next 5 years, sir. Very quickly, as you said, you're a $100 million revenue company approximately. In the next 5 years, where do you see this number headed? You've got cash in your books as well, so maybe there could be some inorganic growth. Put everything together, what is the revenue outlook 5 years down the line? Sir, you can give us that number.
No. Again, I won't be able to give any such number. But one thing I can certainly tell you is we are not looking at any inorganic growth again almost as a matter of policy. We will continue to make use of the cash in a very robust manner by continuing to invest in technologies, the latest technologies, and making sure that our customers are able to derive value out of the investments that they do with us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dusad, for joining us, giving us a sense of what exactly this deal entails. We didn't get too many numbers out of you, but hopefully post your Q4 results, that's something that we will be able to get as well. But we'll now slip into a short break. We'll get you more on the markets and focus on Interglobe Aviation, which is surging in trade. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're tuned into Midcap Radar here on CNBC-TV18. We'll keep an eye out on a couple of stocks in the broader markets. DB Realty, big surge is what we're seeing on that stock. Massive volumes out there. It's up close to 12%. I think Nimish was telling us a few sessions ago on D Street Chatter that there is some kind of buzz on the stock, and maybe we'll hear some corporate announcement. For the time being, big up move. Amrutajan, another stock that's up close to around 10%. Most of the move actually has come in this hour itself. And Reprieve India, that's the other one that's up close to around 14%. So big move on that one. And finally, Windlass Biotech, I think I saw a note coming in from a brokerage, try to pull that out, but they've come out with an upgrade. That stock, in fact, is up close to around 15%. Well, let's talk about Interglobe Aviation. Vinny joins us to tell us about a brokerage note on that one. Vinny?
Yes, so Interglobe Aviation is in focus on the back of the brokerage note that has come in from Motilal Oswal. They've upgraded the stock to a buy. Target price of 6,550 rupees per share. Now, what are the factors that work out for Interglobe Aviation? One, the benign crude prices, right? We've seen the sharp fall coming in crude prices. And do not forget, for Interglobe Aviation and aviation space, overall 40% of their fuel cost comes in from the crude prices and fuel prices. So that is why a fall in those prices is a positive for them. Favorable domestic demand trends are also shaping up in the aviation sector, which is positive for Interglobe Aviation. Overall, what Motilal Oswal is estimating, it's around a 28% EBITDA CAGR growth over the next couple of years, as well as a 38% PAT CAGR growth over the next couple of years. Also, the upswing in the Indian aviation space will work out well, and that is why Interglobe Aviation is in focus, and they will upgraded the stock to a buy.
Thanks so much, Vinny, for joining us and giving us all of the details as far as the upgrade on Interglobe Aviation is concerned. from Motilal Oswal. Well, a couple of stocks from the broad end of the markets that are doing very well. Have a look at Policy Bazaar. That stock up almost 5% in today's trading session. And the other stock that's seen a bit of a surge, especially in the last half hour, is SBI Cards. That stock too is trading near the day's high. But with that, it's all the time we have on this edition of Midcap Radar Mutual Fund Corner when we return.